Alright, so here are the solutions for the two proofs that you were asked to complete. And yeah, the first one is pretty uneventful. We're going to use vertical angles theorem and definition of midpoint, because we're given that t is the midpoint of SV. And then problem 2 is a little bit more interesting. We're using the definition of the segment bisector to prove that those are congruent. And then we're using corresponding angles are congruent with line segment AE as the transversal. Then that means angle BAC is congruent with DCE because they're corresponding angles created by two parallel lines cut by a transversal. And then from there we have angle side angle on the two triangles. So we can say the two triangles are congruent via angle side angle. But then we're not asked to prove here that the two triangles are congruent. We're asked to prove that AB is congruent with CD. And we can do that because once we have that the two triangles are congruent, well then because of corresponding parts of corresponding triangles are congruent, we can say that line segment AB is congruent with line segment CD. So let's go ahead and move on to the next page. We have again angle side theorem, which is another way to show two triangles are congruent. And so if we have two angles and a non-included side congruent in two corresponding triangles, then the two triangles are congruent, right? So it's angle side. So let's go ahead and see some examples here. In this diagram, angle BCA is congruent with DCA, so these two angles are congruent. And what else do we need? So which sides are congruent? Which additional pairs? Okay, so the side that is congruent is AC is congruent with AC, right? And so the question here is, what additional information do we need to be congruent so that we can use the angle side theorem? And so the way it's going to work is it can't be angle side angle. If we say that angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent, then we would need to use angle side angle theorem. But angle side theorem, the order matters. So we would need to show that angle D is congruent with angle B. So then we would have angle side in one triangle, and then we would have angle side in the other triangle. Right? So the order is significant. So let's go ahead and try it in this figure here. And so what additional pairs of corresponding parts would need to be congruent? So I'm going to say here angle B needs to be congruent with angle D because order matters. Right? So it's going to be angle side. Okay, so let's go ahead and complete this proof here. Actually, I think these are supposed to be completed by you folks. So why don't you go ahead and complete these, and I'll show the answers in the following video. But again, if you want to use angle side theorem, that's different than angle side angle because the order matters, right? If we have angle 1 and 2 congruent, then we would be able to prove that these two triangles are congruent via angle side angle. But if we have angle B and angle D congruent, then we could show that the two triangles are congruent using angle side, because it'd be angle side, angle side. Right? So we're going to go ahead and use that to prove that these triangles are congruent here.